What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome to the new setup down here in the basement. I know we've streamed from here before, but that was always with my laptop. I actually have a full computer here now. I am going to talk about that a little bit later. Still getting it dialed in, so it is my old computer, so I'm streaming on the computer. We always streamed on upstairs, but the monitor setup is different. I realized last minute that all the little videos and stuff I play are on drives that were now connected to the new computer. So been running around cables everywhere. But yeah, so hey, I see Patrick and Pudgy have been in here chatting for a little bit. Um, I've got a blue glove from when Rick was in town. Actually, two blue gloves. And he also brought me some beers from Pennsylvania. Let's see if I can. There we go. Neshaminy Creek. This is not the new unfiltered India Pale Ale. It's delicious. I've already had a couple of the beers he bought me, but I saved a couple for tonight or maybe for Thursday. I was going to come on with both the gloves, but then I realized I couldn't control the mouse or the stream at all. So, yeah, kinks to work out here definitely because the monitors are not aligned with the camera, so I'm looking all over the place. I realized I have a monitor up here, which is kind of hard to control, but I'll get it dialed in over a few. It took a while to get the other setup dialed in, but all in all, I'm really happy with it being down here because, well, one thing I hated doing it from my desk is it always felt weird to be talking that loud. I'm right underneath the living room of one of my tenants up there, so I always felt like I don't know. It made me self-conscious at first. As we'd go on, I'd forget about it, but also I forgot to bring my headphones down. I'll grab them at a piddle break. But there's no speakers hooked up to this computer at all unless they come through the TV, which I haven't even tested. So I might miss any audio cues that are going on. Traveling Through is up in here. Oh, are you home traveling through? Sounds like he, in the chat, Tim switches to the Nintendo Power Glove. Yeah, sounds like he's home. Also, I didn't think about, I need like a beer stand to maybe this chair because my computer is down here and there's no cover on it, so it's just like if I poured a beer in there, it would just fry everything. Um, I'd remove the cover to keep it cooler when I was trying to edit videos, and this thing was getting so hot. But glad I will never have to edit videos on this thing again, to be honest. Large Marge is up in here. Dylan said he's noodling with bikes while he's watching, which is one of the ideas of doing this down here. You can see I got the bike stand and stuff that I haven't. I just think it'll be cooler if I have a few little things to do. We could chat while I fix some stuff. Then also you guys could help me out, like Pudgy and other guys always do. Hey, what's up, Snacks? Snacks is in here. Broadford, how's it going, man? Farley, what's up? Farley and Traveling Through actually are the latest channel members. It says Mike at the top of the screen, but I think that that for some reason their algorithm takes into account when people renew each month. But yeah, Farley and Traveling Through, I appreciate it. Let's see. The gloves, yeah. Yeah, so Rick actually gave me a 6-pack and it had 5 beers in it, and he had the gloves wrapped up in the other spot, and I was dying. And he gave them to me, I think, on Friday night or Saturday night when we had got home from riding and having a few too many drinks with Jay Dandy, Large Marge, Funny Brad, and JMZ. And I don't think I said what's up to JMZ. But yeah, he was out all weekend, or Saturday and Sunday, so we got to ride together a couple times. Roger's in here. Alan Daniels in here. I don't think we've talked to Alan for a while, right? Um, Rusty. Hey, what's up, Rusty? Who else? So, Traveling Through said he made it back a couple days ago. 78 days, 4,000 miles, 15 states, no flat tires. Great to be back. Erin says she's glad I won't be editing on the other computer. She had to hear my frustration quite often. So yeah, that's the other thing. I want to kind of strip down this computer, like to, delete all the programs I won't need anymore off it, do a full refresh, just put the files that I need to really stream on there. You know, maybe put Photoshop on there in case it'll work for a backup. But if I ever need to really do anything like that, I could download it. But you know, it'd be nice to have Photoshop for making thumbnails and all that for the live streams. But yeah, I really want to have it kind of just stripped down, run it for that. It actually seems like it's getting really good connection. YouTube's telling me it's getting full connection. I have it running off the Wi-Fi. It was always hardwired upstairs, but the laptop didn't always do that great with the connection down here. So I don't know. It is the antenna right on top of the computer where I've taken the cover off though. So what's up, James Monroe? Obsolescence. Oh, no worries, Alan. Yeah, whenever anyone can make it. So. I don't know if I actually said hi to Jay Dandy. I mentioned Jay Dandy that he was out on the rides. So, Snacks. I think I forgot to send you a message because I know you don't always catch the tune into the streams either. I should have sent you a message about the ride. I felt bad about that when I was looking at your Instagram and saw that you were out riding. But let's see. Yeah, I can't. Patrick was just saying how it's amazing that traveling through made it the whole way without flats. I was trying to think, and I was going to write it down before we came on the stream, how many flats we had on the industrial gravel ride. I know Funny Brad flatted, Mike Maris flatted, Obsolescence flatted twice, Summit Perry, I don't think he's in here yet if I missed him. He flatted. Was that it? Was that all the flats? I mean, not that that's a small amount, but yeah. And then I think we only had 2 people riding tube tires, Obsolescence and then Jay Dandy. And Jay Dandy, what was on 38s, I believe? Yeah, Skinny Tire Award goes to Jay Dandy. I think AJ, I'm trying to think of what he was running. He was running some narrower tires too, so. Yeah, Rusty, the route was pretty gnarly, so even tubeless, um, people were puncturing. So, oh, AJ flatted. Large said AJ flatted. I can't remember when he flatted. Did I miss that? Because he was back with the lead group later on. So, hey, what's up, Summit Perry? Yeah, it's another thing. I just went to the bike shop on my way home from my ride this evening. I had a shootout at Metro Park. Earthquaker Devices, the guitar pedal company, was having a meeting or something. I don't know if it was their first full company meeting since the pandemic, but I went out to get a group shot of all of them, did a loop, and then I stopped by the bike shop. And me and Large were talking about the ride too, and like a way that you could keep such a diverse group of people from getting lost. Kind of ended up working out that Large was nice enough to kind of hang back a little bit and help people out. Funny Brad would stop at it, post up at a couple intersections too, and direct people on. We did a lot of meeting up, a lot of regrouping. We were just trying to think of a way that could make it more
Snacks
fun for
became
the people
a
who
member.
really want to ride hard, and you know, a slower group, so you could still have like that broad diversity. We were kind of saying how it seems like there just needs to, like, as it breaks into an A and B group, if you get caught in a no man's land and you don't have a computer, then you just kind of have to wait for the B group. But I was saying before too, you know, like Dylan and his buddies, like they had the route dialed in and they were able to like ride off the front when they want and follow the turns. That gets more complex on a ride like this for some computers because, you know, it's not all roads and they're not marked, but so you do have to kind of be paying attention. Oh, thanks, Snacks. Snacks became a member. Like I said, I don't have any audio cues today, so I didn't see that. So Jay Dandy was running 38s. He said they probably measure out smaller on the rim he's running, which is true. Oh, so AJ flatted at the Rubber Bowl. That's right, I did know that. Just forgot. Traveling Through is running 38s also, huh? Hey, Rick made it. I did have the gloves on, Rick, but it's hard to drink and control the mouse with them. They're better probably just for shifting some flat bar levers, right? Oh, that's right. JMZ was running tube tires too. I totally forgot about that. Um, yeah. He said he just never followed Brad's line, so he was good. Oh, Pudgy, I missed that. Pudgy said, I'm not allowed to take a week off again. These jerks were brutal when I'm getting my beauty sleep and he has to crowd control. I did go back and read, well, when I got home that night, um, the Discord comments about the stream not going up. So yeah, I tried in the hotel room to get the stream up on a week ago tonight when I was in Louisville working, and it was just giving me some issues, and I couldn't get everything to work right. Finally, I was like, you know what? The one of the guys messaged me, and they're like, "We're gonna go around the corner to this blues bar and hear some live music," and I'm like, "Yes, I want to do that." Instead of, it was already getting to be 9, and it wasn't gonna work. So, yeah. Definitely not much beauty sleep on that work trip. I mean, a lot of it was on my own just because, me, I wanted to go out and ride bikes and see stuff, have a couple beers. Never got too crazy. Wasn't stupid about anything, but yeah. No, sorry to hear that, Pudgy. Rusty was saying, "How are you all flatting on tubeless?" He's saying his whole time in Arizona, 3 flats in 5 years. I've only flatted on tubeless once, and I had run the tires down way too low, so I wouldn't even blame it. It was on the route that we rode and the gnarliest stuff we did on the gravel ride, like what we call the east side tracks, where a couple other people did flat, and it's there's just you could catch like the one thing there's a if you picture the side of a railroad bridge where the walking place where you can walk across, it's that grate, and on the one end it's not finished, so people have punctured there. Brad did when we rode the pre-rode the route, and I think that's what got Maris too. That's just something glass can just. Who was saying that they think they turned their tire on glass at the rubber bowl? So there is just some. Yeah, and then like some of those sections, just there's bricks and bigger rocks, and you're just kind of weaving at like 8 miles an hour. So yeah, I've only flatted on tubeless once, but I'm not surprised we had as many flats as we did. It's pretty to have a lot of people on stuff that gnarly. It's going to happen. But what did Rick say? Funny Brad had no idea what he was doing. I swear he sent me off in search of a swat Sasquatch at some point. Rusty's running 70 by 50 Surly Dirt Wizards. Well, and our Gravel Kings 50-inch, Surly Dirt Wizard 3-inch. And yeah, you could probably run low enough pressure that you really wouldn't have the risk of puncturing that much. Roger asked about sending pictures to Discord. I'm wondering if Discord shrunk the file size we're allowed to do because Rick posted a picture early and it only shows up as a link. Um, what I find I have to do on Discord, it'll tell you, as Roger had asked me, it'll say your files are too powerful. I go into Photoshop and just make the files smaller, and then they'll upload. Or if I try to upload 2 or 3 and they won't upload, I just do them one at a time. It's one of the ways Discord makes money if you ever see where it has that like Nitro thing. I think that's like a paid version of Discord that allows you to put up longer videos. Like that video I put up of Dylan in slow motion jumping off that platform at Hampton Hills. I had to go back and resize that smaller like 4 times before I could get that to post. So oh, you guys are saying hi to someone I missed. Oh, this is something I was wondering if anyone knows about. I thought maybe Dylan would. I don't think Funny Brad's here. Um, I have my monitors top and bottom. Is there a way? And I've looked through all the normal settings. Maybe you need a third party app, but to have Windows let you move your mouse from top to bottom, because one of the things when I'm trying to control this with the two monitors is trying to remember through which side of the window I have to send the mouse. Um, One of those little things it's not the end of the world and I'll probably get used to, but it's also kind of frustrating. Oh, hey, what's up? So Lopez is from Portugal and he said, "What's up?" And thanks, man. Rusty asked if Snack's first name is Scooby. It's actually a nickname Funny Brad gave him. His name's Zach, but we already have a Zach in the group. And I can't remember his explanation for it, why he went with Snacks. Rusty said Tim can't read. Vampires don't read. Or wait, what? You call me a vampire? Now I can't even remember. Rick was out and he got 50 miles in. Oh yeah, it is a vampire thing. Funny, Brad may have a touch of heat exhaustion. Yeah, he texted me. We were talking yesterday, and he said when we were climbing up Tice Road, which was the first, I put like three big climbs in the end of the industrial gravel ride, and he said going up that he started to feel like he was going to bonk hard. He ate all his food while climbing it and emptied his water, and then he was able to get through the last two climbs doing that. But oh, Rusty was asking again about my monitor mouse situation. So yeah, like my monitors are up and down right now. I could put this on here actually to show. I'll go through it. I might as well say, yeah. Okay, so here we go. So the monitor that I'm controlling the stream is here. The monitor, or the TV in this case, that I'm using to read the Discord or whatever will show up on the internet screen is up here. And I was wondering if there's a way so when I take my mouse, if I could go up through the top of the screen and down through the bottom of this screen instead of what you would normally do with a two monitor setup is just go back and forth left and right with the mouse cursor. Um, it'd be really cool because it's, like I said, it's just kind of weird to go through, you know, the right side of the screen to be up top. So Dylan thinks there's a setting in Windows 10. I didn't see it yet, so Farley said Display Fusion might let you do that. And Broadford said there is an app. Oh, Rusty said there is. And display in general. I was flipping through that and I did not see it. I'll just go back and double check. I believe you guys that it's there. Oh, you just drag them. Okay. I've never, just never attempted that. You know, it gives you that one and that two in Windows, so you could just move them so they're like that instead of like that, I guess is what you're saying. Cool. Awesome. Problem solved. Should I try and do that during the stream, or do you think I'll mess everything up? I'll hold off. I'll deal with it for today. But so yeah, Snacks is talking about his nickname. I'm sure he says it's a strange reason, but we're going with it. Yeah, yeah. Everyone's telling me you just drag him. It's so funny that I've never thought of that. Well, because that probably wasn't an option at one point. Um, but yeah, uh, so this is what's filming me, Canon 5D Mark IV, and you could tell I haven't done any cable management or anything like that. It's a disaster, but my audio recorder, like I said, computer's right here. All the drives are sitting around all over the place. You obviously can't see it, but the GoPro's on an arm over there, and I only put it over there today so I could show this whole setup. I'm thinking the cool thing will be is if we want to work on a bike or something, will be to have that, you know, maybe the GoPro is the wide shot, and then I could use the zoom lens on the 5D to get in and mess around and switch between the two screens. So yeah, and then yeah, The other thing is when I built this little shelf the other day to put the TV on it, I was thinking, oh, I could sit back here at the bar or work on bikes and watch like bike racing if I'm down here, especially in the winter. And then if I wanted to be over on the other side of the basement, I could flip it around. But yeah, it's actually too flat to where I'm ever going to be standing. So I'm going to see if I can come up with some kind of swivel system, run out to the Home Depot over the weekend and see what I could do to make it. I don't want to install like a full TV stand. I'll just build something cheap. That's more my style, is to build something, a solution myself that works exactly for what I want. So, but yeah, overall, I think this will end up being cool. And then if I want to sit down or if we want to have guests, we've got the room for it. So, yeah, and I love the two cameras. That'll be really cool. I'm not reading that comment out loud, Rick. Obsolescence says I just have to switch to Linux. Um, yeah. As annoying as Microsoft can be, I just need my stuff to work, and I don't want to mess around with stuff I don't know about. Buy a Mac? Why would I buy a Mac? I can't even. I can't even. This is about the most I could stomach from the company that just wants you to spend, 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 spend. I bought my new PC was upstairs was $4,000, and it's a comparable Mac would be $20,000. There's no way. And then you have to do everything in their ecosystem. I do not like them. Like I said, the only reason I use iPhones is because they work really well with my Canons and my drones. Otherwise, I would. Well, if they still made Windows phones, I'd use those. Keith. Mac, aka Ronald McDonald. Oh, that's right, Snacks. I forgot. I did see your stories that you had to get bailed out, didn't you? What's the large Marge comment I missed? Oh yeah, I heard that at the Rubber Bowl that large Marge had to tell Brad to pull his socks up higher. Funny Brad. Snacks likes the mild chaos of the setup. Yeah, it feels like it. I will open up the settings. Let me see. If it's that simple to switch this, it'll make the rest of my night easier. Yep, simple as that. Oh, except I drug them the wrong way. Oh, it even lets you center them. That's pretty cool. Let's see if I did that right now. Yep. It's funny when there's stuff like that, you've just never looked into it because it didn't used to exist, so you didn't know that. But yeah, yeah, now the mouse. Seamless. Perfect. Rusty's a Google phone guy. My girlfriend uses an ant. She actually buys not just an Android operating system, but the Pixels. I think is what she has had a couple of. Yeah, I forgot about reading your stories. What did you go up to Cleveland, Snacks, and then not make it back from there? I had so much going on getting in. It's hard to remember anything because I was in Louisville till Thursday evening. Friday, I got the studio in order for having people over and getting everything set up for the ride. Then we went out to do some trail maintenance, and Saturday people were in town, which I'm not complaining about. It was great, but it's just hard for me to remember everything that I might have checked on social media for sure. Oh, I don't trust a $1,500 iMac to edit 4K footage off my new Canon R5. Not a chance. And I can't make them do anything I want to do because I can't stand. I mean, I can't figure anything out on Macs. They're like they try to make them so simple that they're confusing. Super frustrating. Rusty's a pixel guy, yeah. Yeah, video now is so huge. You're not going to get away with a $1,500 computer. I mean, the M1s are supposed to be decent at editing stuff. I know people have benchmarked them and they do well at certain things, but yeah, I'm not messing with that for the video I'm trying to edit. Oh, Aaron has the first pixel. Oh, huh. I'm getting a red signal on the stream now. Are we doing okay? Huh. It says excellent condition. Okay. Let me know if it conks out on us at all. Whoops. Well, I just closed the chat. There it is. I accidentally clicked on I used the chat in a separate window and I accidentally closed it. Oh, so Snacks, you still didn't fully recover, huh? You said good now, still have no power at all and kind of feel weak. Rode to work today and was a snail. Huh. Snacks is one of the strongest riders that I probably know. He would have been easily pedaling up there with Dylan and his buddies on those last few climbs. I could not hang at on Sunday. So hey, what's up, D'Amico? He's running the Pixel 5. Yeah. It's weird with the Pixels because they no longer offer like a full premium phone, right? They've kind of gone to like mid-level, whereas they used to have like more like the two tier, like a really nice one and then a more mid-level one. Yeah, I think Aaron, wasn't your Samsung just one of the Galaxies? That sounds like a classic bonk snack saying that you were doing a century and you never got food. You know, the first time I bonked, I'd only heard about it, had no idea what was going on. Where I went from riding in the hardest gear I could, pedaling really fast down the hiking bike, and then all of a sudden barely pushing the easiest gear till I stopped in the nearest restaurant and slammed a burger and a beer and like 3 glasses of water. Yeah. Pudgy doesn't even know what iPhone he has. And then Farley said he has a Galaxy S8, but he wouldn't do another Samsung. Rick, Rick says all he knows is he woke up Sunday morning with a sore butt and kept having dreams. Tim and Brad riding toy donkeys. I went out for a ride yesterday and I didn't feel that bad. And today's really cool. Um, I think when I got home from the bike shop, it was under 70. If we would have had this temperature on, me and Large were talking about this, if it would have been the temperature it is today on Sunday, or the humidity, there's almost no humidity today, which was the really bad thing on Sunday. I think a lot more people would have finished. So for those of you who weren't there, it was, I think, 47 miles, 2,500 feet of climbing is about what Dylan's computer had, which has an altimeter, so I trust that more than mine. Um, and only 6 of us did the whole thing. Dylan and his 2 buddies, Devin and Quinn, Jay Dandy, and Funny Brad. And this isn't to knock anyone who didn't. It was the weather, the conditions of the route is a little tough, and then the weather was tough. And that was purposeful to have the route swing back through downtown Akron a number of times so people had different break-off points. I even had a spot in mind where if you made it down the towpath before we did those last 3 big climbs, you could have just climbed one climb and got back to where we started. So I totally anticipated that. But I think the humidity did play a big role in not as many people finishing. I would say JMZ probably would have finished for sure if it wasn't so humid. And then maybe if we had a better plan in mind for, you know, the waiting up and not being out in the sun as long. And I had said all along this would be a learning thing. It's the first time I've ever done it. I've seen other, you know, kind of organized rides, but yeah. Rusty said phones are boring. Back to bikes. But traveling through, so I did mention it was 47 miles, but that we've all talked about this and we were talking about it in the Discord. You can almost double that mileage because the beginning isn't very, it's not very climby, but it's just one second section was like mountain bikes. Most of it was at least, you know, gravelly. The whole section of the east side tracks, we've always talked about this. It's only like 6 miles and it feels like 12. So yeah, it's just the terrain is stuff that you have to be paying attention to. There's some off camber railroad gravel in there, so it just really it wears you down. So the 47 miles and the 2,500 feet don't really tell the story of what it feels like to ride this route. So, and that was part of, you know, I wanted it to be in challenging, and that's kind of like one of the themes of the channel because that's what I make my videos about. So I wanted to kind of show some of it off, but the Razer phone too. I don't even remember that one. I loved my Windows phone. I stand by that was when they came out with their last version. The operating system with the live tiles and everything was awesome. I mean, now Samsung and iPhone basically have that kind of thing where you can make the bigger, you know, stuff. But it was cool. I mean, like the weather, your email, you could make the tiles the size you wanted. You could already see what, you know, you didn't have to open the app to see what was happening if you wanted the notifications to be there. And then it was like an endless just scroll, like how we scroll on Instagram. So you could put the apps vertically as many as you wanted and the sizes you wanted, but never caught on. No one would make apps for it, so it died. Dylan said it took 7 hours for those of us who finished. Yeah. Yeah, Rusty, not the heat, it was the humidity. So it wasn't even that surprisingly Sunday I don't think was more than 80. It was just super humid and it was crazy we didn't get soaked because you could see like rain clouds out there and we were riding through like where there were fresh puddles, but somehow it was just like one of those weird like spotty days you can get, you know, where that's less usual here, you know, in the Midwest. Usually it's a whole front coming through and everything gets wet, but it was like this super spotty, crazy day. We got a little bit of drizzle. It actually wouldn't have been bad if we got a light rain for a while, you know, but 116 is insane. Yeah. That's hot no matter what, I'm sure. Oh, yeah. So that's a good. Yeah. Oh, someone said it was a perfect flip flop route. We're I don't know if I said what's up to you, William, but I did see you in there. I see you in the chat. But traveling through saying you wouldn't mind getting in on the next one, you should join us over in the Discord. One, you're a member, so you get access to the members' channels. Um, but also, we have been chatting about this, and we're thinking, Dylan was thinking about trying to plan one in Columbus. It seems like a lot of us are too busy in July. Um, I know Large said he was. Pudgy said he was. I'm doing a longer trip with Large Marge already in July, so we're thinking maybe August. But I like the idea of, you know, whoever wants to plan one, and no one has to wait for anyone else. You could just plan one, post it in the Discord, and whoever can show up does. But I think maybe it'd be cool to wait till August when it seems like more of us would be able to do it. You know, everyone kind of front loads their summers, I think, in general. But Aaron, D'Amico says Tim had a curse placed on him that if the ride doesn't include railroad gravel, he'll explode. Yeah, I can see where that would come from. Aaron, those are good phones. That's all I could say. Yeah, we definitely missed Pudgy out there. There's a, to Pudgy's point, writes a douchey acoustic guitar song about Windows Phone. There's a song, and I can't think of who sang it, but it was kind of a hit, like um, a moderate top 40 hit or whatever that Windows was using when they were doing their last push on those phones. I think Shaun White was advertising that. Who made it? It was that Lumia one on Verizon that had like 4 speakers and whatever. But whenever I hear that song, it does. It like really pulls at the heartstrings. Oh, JMZ, by riding up the stairs, well, you would know what Lock 4 is, or you might not remember, where we're all going up those big ramps that are made to walk your bike down. That was pretty cool. But, Rusty was saying that that temperature is abnormal. That's hotter than usual, huh, for this early. JMZ also gets the award. JMZ rode up a hill that I don't think anyone else made it up. We call it the landfill. I think it's a good year. There's like a that wrecked water treatment plant. Lar just posted some videos, and we've showed them on the stream before. But it was a grass climb, and it was a little damp, and the grass was long. Um, and JMZ was riding his Diverge, and he was the only one who got up, I think. Did Dylan make it up? I know Dylan's buddies didn't make it up. And a lot of us didn't even come close. I mean, we were just like 4 pedals in. It was like, no way. There's not even a trail there. It's just a grass hill. The reason to go up it was because the view is so cool. It looks over East Akron where the old rubber plants and everything are. But Rick, you bombed the rubber bowl hill. Is that when you guys were waiting us up for us to turn around? That hill was gnarly. I didn't go down it, especially with it being slick. Um, yeah, then Dylan and did both Dylan's friends make it back up? Dylan and Devin, I think, both rode back up that thing, which at the end must be like a 20% gradient or something. William was saying it would be cool to do a meetup ride every 2 to 3 months. I think so too. But like I said, it doesn't shouldn't stop anyone from trying to host one or post one in the meetups and rides section, like at any time. See if anyone's interested. Aaron. Oh, Dylan. Yeah. So Lar just saying Dylan smashed the landfill hill too. He was up ahead. I was behind his buddies, so I didn't see it. So two people made it up the landfill hill. Oh, traveling through. I'll throw up a picture for you. But so he was asking the rubber what. So Akron was. Sorry, I hit the mic with my beer. The former was the rubber capital of the world. So the old college football stadium is called the Rubber Bowl, and it's in. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Ruins now. They like kind of half dismantled it, which is it's just weird. And like it was really cool. I did this on purpose, but we planned the route to come out through the top. It's dug into a hillside, and we came out through a tunnel at the top. So when you all of a sudden you go into this tunnel, then you walk out, and it's this crazy. It looks like a ruined Greek amphitheater. Um, believe I have pictures up on Flickr. Oh yeah, These aren't from the ride, by the way. And actually, this will kind of show some of the people who are on the ride um, what it looked like even just a couple. So this is May 11, 2016, because more of it has been torn down since then. But yeah, we came out on that top where my buddy Woody's standing. In the background where you see the entrance and that's all gone. All the bleachers have been cleared out. It's covered in graffiti now. But yeah, and most of this AstroTurf is torn out now. Mike Maris kept talking about riding down the stairs here, which I was like, that's insane. That's large on his fixie. But yeah, we came out so where the guy is farther on his bike up there, and you can see there's like a door. That's where we came out right underneath the R and the B, between Rubber Bowl. So just kind of, if you're not from here and you entered that way, I have to assume that was kind of a cool part of the ride. Obsolescence. Are you guys lying to me about Rick bombing the Rubber Bowl Hill? Rusty said Aaron is really spilling the beans on Tim's true love. Large said Rick was trying to kill himself, ended up accidentally riding down the hill. Dylan's talking about the Columbus route and kind of how intense to make it. Yeah, that's the debate. And me and Lars were talking about this too. Like when I pitched the whole idea originally, it was like the unmeeting that Jan Hein does, and it's like, here's the route. We leave at 10:30. Do it at your own pace. If it organizes into groups, even better. But everyone be prepared to have a computer or a phone that has the route. But at the same time, it's too hard to want to do that. You kind of want to talk to people. You want to wait up for people who came in from out of town. That's why I think the A and B group makes the most sense. I think you make the route, Dylan, and then we have a way to, I don't know. It's almost like you need someone to lead a slower group. And like we were saying, I think I was saying this at the beginning of the stream. If you're in no man's land and you don't have a computer, then you either just need to wait up for the B group and have a couple regroup spots where then maybe you could join back on with the lead group. For me, like our plan was to stop at Hop and Frog, and I thought people could eat their snacks there, and people who wanted to have like a quick drink could have. It turned out to be closed, but I guess maybe making that not on the farthest point out, but maybe at a more central point that you pass back through. If you kind of figure eight it like we were, but that's a hard thing to work out on rides like this, and it's something that we should think about the best way to do it. Oh wow, Large says he has footage of Rick. Oh wow, yeah, let's get this up here. Whoops, sorry. Let me get this. There we go. Desktop audio on. Yes. Like I said, I'm the only one who can't hear it probably, so if it's too loud. Oh, he did. Yeah. And as you guys know, cameras don't show how that's a steep hill. Pudgy was saying that's how Ron does Nutmeg Nor'easter. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he took that inspiration from Jan Hein, because, I mean, Huh? Jay Dandy said his Fire TV dropped me, but that it's still working on the phone. Yeah, it's still showing that I have a strong signal. So Pudgy was saying between him and himself they could split up. Yeah, and we did have a GPX route which worked. Like I said, Dylan did a really good job of making it, and some people had it, and some people were able to follow it. I was really impressed how well Dylan followed it. But like even like when we went through Honda Hills, even if you have a route of that, that would be hard to be paying attention to anything and following. Um, yeah, I think that in general that's the way it should be. But a combination of people having computers, the route, and then two groups. So there's at least a back group that you could, you know, someone being willing to be like the sweeper, it makes a big difference. But that's not always fair if there's not someone who wants to do that, you know. So I, yeah, it's something I debate because you're there to hang out, you're there to have a good time with people, but you know, like Large when we got into Honda Hills, he was like, I don't want to drop everyone, but I want to make Honda Hills fun for people who want to like bomb through it. And it's like, yeah, so how do you, you know, Honda Hills is, by the way, like the most off-road section we did. That is like four-wheeler and dirt bike trails that for some reason exist right outside downtown Akron. But Rusty asked how many people, or Patrick asked how many people were on the ride. Um, I think we counted about 20 at the start, and then we actually meshed for a while with Dirty River. They do their Sunday morning bike ride, the Yeti ride, and so for a while, what there would be like 40, and then it just kept whittling it down. There was a few people who never intended to finish. Some of my friends who showed up were like, "We're going to come and ride a couple of the sections." My friend Ryan was bringing his girlfriend out who hadn't really ridden too much gravel stuff yet, so they did a couple of the gravel segments and then went off and had lunch and stuff like that. And then people just kept kind of dropping off as we got close to where they might be staying or back through downtown, like I said. So, hey, what's up, Blackball? Good to have you here. So Dylan was saying he doesn't want to make a route file because he doesn't want people riding the trails and making bikes not allowed. It's a gray area. Um, we have the, you know, we've thought about the same kind of thing. I've thought about what Dylan's saying there, even with making my YouTube videos and posting my Strava routes. Um, I think maybe if this channel was way more popular, I would stop posting the Strava routes. Because same thing, we don't want to. We're the railroad gravel, the one where the tracks are abandoned, the really gnarly stuff. I don't think anyone's going to care. But where we started that first segment of gravel, we have been yelled at by cops coming off of it in the reverse way, like you're not allowed back there. That's railroad property, and as we've talked about on the channel, railroads don't want you on their property, period, and they will enforce that. So it's always one of those things that it's like you want to share cool stuff with your friends, and you know, I like to make YouTube videos of interesting places that I think are interesting. But yeah, so it's one of those things. It's a, yeah, tough situation. Yeah, you don't want things to become a victim of their success, you know. So I missed Large's comment that you guys are talking about. Oh, I think it was the Discord. Yeah. Oh, Snacks. Yeah, me and Large were talking about that. So Snacks said he got lost in Honda Hills. Um, so Ben had a shop ride. It was you know, Otis's shop, Dirty River sponsored Ben's route, which had a lot of the same stuff we did, called the Strada Ben Anki. Um, and yeah, he said they had the same problem. They, made a route, but some people were riding the thing super hard. And then he said at some point at Honda Hills, someone put a foot down, backed up the whole group. The group split up. Half the people got lost. So I know Snacks just ended up. I think you guys never caught back on with the people you were with, right? So hey, what's up, Malk? Welcome back. We need to meet up, Malk. You're just in Cleveland. I misunderstood you on the Discord about the concert thing earlier, which is funny. And I'm like, you're only 35 minutes away. And then you're like talking about the concert. Let's see. Dylan was saying the difference in Akron is most of the stuff isn't shared use. It's empty trails. True. Yeah, like off the beaten path. Columbus has a ton of trail traffic, and it works now because most cyclists are courteous, but he's had bad encounters before. Gotcha. Yeah, it's funny sometimes if there's like no bike signs, if there's a different entrance, we'll come in that way. It's that little mental thing that we got to say then, or if the cops like do catch us, like, oh, well, we didn't see a no bike sign. We didn't see a no private. We didn't see a private property sign. We really, I mean, surprisingly, for as much as we do the stuff we do, we haven't had very much trouble. And we're also like, we're not jerks. Like if someone was like, this is my property, we would leave. There's a couple places that we've seen on Google Maps, me and Large, that we've gone to explore. And then we get there and there are so many no trespassing, unmistakable signs. We're like, we're not going back there. Or there's houses nearby, or you could tell there's people on it. It's like, all right, you know, if that was my yard, I wouldn't want people in it either. The railroad access roads and the abandoned factory stuff, that doesn't really bother me to use it. But snacks. Yeah, Rusty, I do know all about that. Yeah, and the railroad companies too, like hold on to all that stuff. Like, and then Jay Dandy was talking about it too, how sometimes then they'll, if there isn't money in it, they'll just abandon it. So like the Moon Tower trails, I think he was saying the city of Kent now owns them because it was a huge railroad yard that they just left. I think that's the gist of what he was telling us. We ended up having a lot of drinks on Saturday night, so I guess the thing might be to do, Dylan, is to only post the route right before the ride. You know, anybody who has a is going to use a bike computer doesn't need it loaded till the day of the ride, right? Oh, Mulk, you're in London. Why did I think you were in Cleveland? Oh, because the concert thing threw me off. That's right. I totally made that mistake. Yeah, that's right. Because we've talked about this. We ride through London on Ohio to Erie. So yeah, Rusty was saying railroads restricting the space along the trails to anyone is asinine. And I think what happened here, so like as I've shown on the map before, and I was talking about it on the ride, like we go under, there's the Little Cuyahoga Valley. Akron is not on the Cuyahoga River, it's on the Little Cuyahoga River. And then they converge just a little bit down from Akron. But so there's pinch points where you could see like, there's like, the trail we're riding, which now there's an official bike trail underneath like the Route 8 bridge where the Cuyahoga Valley gets real narrow. There's still an active rail line. There's like two rusty rails there. There's one that comes underneath, and it's just a pinch point. And so all the railroad companies had their little stretch of land. But in some of them, it seems like the access roads we're riding, you could tell because there's still tracks further down, but they're not in the spots where we're riding, like the Route 8 gravel. It seems like for some reason that the railroads who still own the tracks have some kind of rights to the other railroads tracks that are not even there and next to it. And they would be yes. Like, and there are some that there are groups in town working to get turned into bike paths, but the railroad companies fight it because they don't want the liability of people next to their trains, which in a way makes sense, but the other solution is to put up a fence, but then who pays for the fence, right? So it's all the same BS. Railroad companies are horrible. I mean, like I've said, the reason I think we got into this one night too after drinking, but Amtrak exists is not because passenger rail wasn't profitable anymore. It wasn't profitable enough, or it wasn't as profitable as freight, so they didn't want to support it. So the U.S. government saved passenger rail by combining them all into Amtrak. A lot of things to rant about in this country. This is probably not the biggest one, but Pudgy was saying they fight the railroads constantly with the trail that runs from Springfield to Bellefontaine. Yeah, and so those of you who were on the ride when we were riding on the Freedom Trail after Honda Hills, and remember it just said trail ends, and we went and did, it just turned into like the single track stuff that we rode into downtown Akron. That was supposed to be finished 5 years ago and get right into downtown and connect to the towpath. All of a sudden, the railroad company started fighting it, and now they've stopped responding to Metro Parks at all. So Metro Parks can't finish the trail, and they keep trying to come up with these plans to bypass it. But yeah, frustrating. So, oh, Pudgy's got my back. Yeah, Farley is in Cleveland. He was talking about the concert. Now I'm really messing everybody up tonight. I've only had one beer, so yeah. Jay Tandy says that was the gist drunk history from Saturday. Yeah. It was cool to get to go out to the Moon Tower trails. We got to take JMZ out there. If we did another ride, stuff like that would be worth getting into. Rick said if he got caught by the cops, he was going to damn me out in 2 seconds. Dylan was saying how he turns his Strava heat map off when he rides the secret trails. Otis was telling us we should do that when we used to ride like an abandoned road called Honeywell. I was talking to Obsolescence about that. It's a climb out of the valley and stuff like that. I was feeling like one of my things with my Strava routes, if I say pre YouTube, if someone goes and rides a Strava route, that's not legal. They're doing that at their own risk. But I also get the idea of not blowing it up so it gets banned. Rusty was talking about the canals versus the railroads here. I don't know, it could be different by the time Arizona was getting developed. The difference between the railroads and the canal right of ways here in Ohio, and so I would assume, the whole eastern half of the country, is that the canals were, well, they were private, but the way they were publicly funded. I know in the Ohio to Erie Canal, if the canal ceased to exist, the rights went back to the original property owner. And that happened in a lot of places. And that's why the towpath trail is only in the north part of the state, because the canal lasted much longer up here. And then when they created the national park, they eminent domain people out. So a different entity was taking your land, but it was government instead of private property. I don't know. A lot of weird stuff. Oh, Rick was saying Saturday night was the best part of the weekend for him. That was much more chill. Like we just, we had a kind of more of a chill booze cruise. So Rick got into town. I was already riding out with JMZ, Large Marge, Molnar, and Funny Brad. And then we met Jay Dandy at the Moon Tower Trails, and then we rode in downtown Kent where they have the streets shut down, and Rick met us out there, and then we all rode back together. So it was a lot of fun. I had a blast. Oh, Malk just said he got his first intentional KOM on the Straggler. Nice. Yeah, we have a big. Yeah, so talking about Pudgy and the railroad crossings, we have a big problem in downtown Akron. So if JMZ's still in here, or anyone who was here where Dirty River Bike Shops is, Dirty River's bike shop and the hotel where JMZ stayed, there's a railroad crossing that just really cuts the city, the downtown section in half, and we can't get any level crossing across the tracks. And it's really a pain because now there's stepped on something. The way the car traffic is, and then the railroads, it's like, and the north side is kind of developing really well, but it still has this big disconnect from downtown because the railroad companies don't want anyone walking across their tracks. What happens is we all walk across and ride across the tracks anyways, just they can't, they haven't endorsed it. So I guess if we get hit by a train, it's not their fault. But Jay Dandy said he likes riding where the cars are not. I think we did a pretty good job of staying out of the car traffic, except for a couple of those climbs at the end. Oh, yeah, Jay Danny was asking Rick how he liked that ride into Kent. And we were going to try and make the ride a loop, so we could have showed Rick also the hike and bike home from Kent, because you could ride the Freedom into Kent, and then the hike and bike goes more directly back to where the studio here is. But Aaron and just Aaron Molnar had her car downtown, so we wanted to take her home to her car and all that stuff. So yeah, and Large lives more close to the Freedom Trail too. How late is it? It's got to be 10:02. Yeah, I think we'll do the quick thanking the members video because, yeah, I want to show some of the photos people have posted. Get kind of a little, break it up in here for a second, grab another beer. If anyone's got to take a leak. Yeah. And then also the 3 new members traveling through. Thanks again. Farley and Snacks aren't in the video yet because, like I said, I was working on getting the stream set up down here, but Thursday I'll have should have everything ready to go for that. So hey, we are going to take a quick break right now. Grab yourself a drink, hit the restroom, smoke them if you got them. But first off, we do want to thank the members. On a small YouTube channel like this, the channel members really make a difference. They make it so we could do this with the frequency I like to do it and the quality I like to bring to the videos. It helps out a lot. So I appreciate the members. We have a few different levels, and you can check out that link in the chat right now or in the description of this video. Also, I know everybody has all kinds of little ways they get nickel and dime these days with subscriptions. So if you can't help financially, that's no problem. Go ahead and hit the like button right now. Let's bump this channel up in the algorithm a little bit. So we'll be back shortly. And one more time, thank you, channel members whose name you see on screen right now. I want a tuna boat. I'll give me tuna boat. I want a tuna boat. Just reading Broadford's comment about he said he was riding on the trail next to the northern corridor, and it's a little unsettling when the Acela comes flying past you, 30 feet away. Um, yeah, when we first pulled onto the first gravel segment, we did have a freight train blowing by us, but I guess I'm kind of used to it now. We're not that close, but 30 feet would definitely be about, I think, what it is. I'm gonna sit down and make myself at home here. Mess with the camera angle a little bit to get that to happen. Probably point it down, I guess. Does that work? I've got all these power cables. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. I couldn't find a power strip here, an extra power strip. So everything is just plugged into multipliers, which is a really bad idea to run a computer and stuff like this off those. So that's something I'll have to run out and buy from Best Buy before Thursday. I'm gonna mute my mic so I could readjust it so it's not in the shot real quick. Um, if I move it, I don't want anyone listening with headphones. Well, it's still in the shot, but it's not right in my face. So it still needs to be close, obviously, to sound decent. So JMZ said take a load off. His leg still hurt. Yeah, and I also I rode the last 2 days as well. So turn this a little bit. Hopefully, it's not too disruptive. Sorry. Um, so Broadford said the Acela is a high speed as we have in the U.S. Oh, that's right. I have a large. I do know about that. Yeah, it's regular rail, but it's more aerodynamic and faster engines. Really, right? It's not true like high speed like they have in Europe. Muting my mic. Yeah, today I got about 20 miles in going out to the photo shoot, and yesterday I rode a little faster than I thought I would, but just did a quick loop. Sat out at that bridge that um, we drink our beers at that we did on passed on the route. So I've got another beer here that Rick brought. This one is New Trail Brewing. Uh, it's a hazy double, flannel weather. Let's see. Let me let's see what everybody else is drinking. I usually do this at the beginning, but being able to go up and down on the monitors like this is a game changer. So Rick, this was earlier. He was drinking a lime tequila margarita drink. Oh, 12.5%. That's no joke. That's like a real cocktail in there, huh? From Cutwater at the Mexican restaurant he rode out to on his big ride today. Large has one I've never seen before. Um, a golden sour. That artwork is cool. It almost looks like the graffiti we see all over town. Oh, I should probably turn my mic up a little higher. Sorry about that. Hello, 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 hello. All right. What's the brewery there, Large? I haven't seen that before. Oh, then Pudgy's beer. Chocolate covered salted caramel triple oatmeal imperial stout. 15.8%. Is Pudgy still with us or is he passed out on the floor? And also, he was saying that it does in the chat in the beginning that it does not taste natural. Arche, like I've mentioned before, they're a craft brewery here in Akron. They have 2 locations now, but the guy has no qualms about using artificial flavoring. And having had like their anniversary birthday chocolate cake beers, this just sounds absolutely awful to me. Maybe this one has enough alcohol that the alcohol covers up some of that artificial flavoring. Oh, larges was a victory. Yeah. Then where did Rick say he was here? Oh, he must be showing. He was on his ride back. The omission, because he's gluten free, so omission is the gluten free beer. William LeBron had a strawberry Angry Orchard. I like that little coaster he has out here too with the cat in the hat. JMZ has Brewdog's Hazy Jane. That's, to me, out of Brewdog's IPAs, the one I like the best. Their Elvis Juice I am not a fan of. Maybe I got the mic a little too hot now. There we go. What's Rusty got? That looks cool. It's All Music IPA. I like that, like, why is that loading so slow? Kind of cool abstract artwork on there. Oh, Farley had that this morning after work. The Dank Juice, Lord Hobo, double IPA. Nice. As I mentioned, I've been to both of their locations in Boston visiting my buddy Eric. Rusty's got the... Now he was drinking a... Let's go big. Heaving through corrupted lungs, hazy imperial pale ale. Let's see. Android Theory Brewing. Oh, got the Cleveland Browns coaster in the back. Nice. Blackball's got a Italian Pilsner from Glorioso. Nice. Our Left Field Brewing. Glorioso is the name of the beer. There's an Italian Pilsner named the Giro at Akron Brewing in Akron, and I love it. If you do Pilsners and stuff like that right, I think they can be really good beers. You know, it doesn't have to be Miller Lite. So. Pudgy's right arm window. Yeah, 15.8, J Danny. That's pretty nuts. That's it. I can't remember. Well, obviously, because on the ride, we didn't do a ton of talking about beer. And then Saturday night got hazy. But Hop and Frog, their beers, a lot of them are like that. They're super strong. Pudgy was saying Clockwork Tangerine is awesome from Brewdog. Pudgy said, let's do a bike brew trip to Boston. I would like to. When I was in Boston, so I know I brought this up before, I believe Erin's really close friend is a brewer in Boston, and she's worked at a number of breweries there. One was in Salem. We took the ferry up to visit her, and that was awesome. But then the one night, she took us all around to all of her favorite ones. And then I was there solo one time before, and my buddy that I was visiting, Eric, he had to work, so I just walked around taking photos. It was fall, and it was beautiful during the day. And then as it got to the evening, I hit a couple of the good breweries, like more well-known ones like Trillium, but then some really small ones too. But I would, yeah. Adroit Theory Brewing. Blackball talking about his Miller Lite again, though. Hey, what's up, Alejandro? How you doing? Oh, Rusty's thinking of heading to Boston for the Browns Pats game. He said on November 14th. we'll tack on brew tours and bike stuff for my B day. Yeah, before you're heading, Rusty, if you get Aaron's friend to give a list of the best, what she thinks is the best at the time. So, traveling through said, let's do a Coors Light trip to Pittsburgh. Rick wants to know if she has a number. Oh, Malk is saying bike brew trip from Springfield, Yellow Springs, Dayton. Yeah, when we went through Yellow Springs, I think Large might remember, but I think it was a Monday or something, and so Yellow Springs Brewing wasn't open. The other little one right in the downtown there wasn't open. There's like a little brew pub that looked really cool. We ate at a restaurant kind of almost around the corner. It's right by the bike shop there, which wasn't open either. So then again, that might not have worked out anyways, that little one, because there was the pandemic and it didn't see a patio, if I remember correctly. But Dayton, me and Aaron have definitely hit a lot. I pulled up some of the photos of when we went to Dayton and hit Toxic Brewing and Warped Wing, and Dayton's a great spot. I think, well, yeah, uh, Dylan and his buddies are hitting Yellow Springs coming up, but Dylan, Brew King, wouldn't work because he doesn't drink. So, hey, what's up, Drift King? I see. I saw you jumped on Twitch earlier, but I was still out riding. I got the notification, so I missed it. Yeah, you haven't been. Done, I don't think you've Twitch streamed for a little while, but what about an Estrella? Or, well, if that is in Spanish, would it be pronounced Estrella? Trip in Spain? Well, I don't think we're still allowed to cross any of the uh, European. We're allowed to go into the European Union now, but we have to have a reason. Uh, a bike and brewery trip would probably not be a good enough reason. But man, I would love to get to Spain for sure. I was just, what was I just watching that was making me think about that? I don't know. I mean, know a lot of Spanish history, and then obviously the Vuelta and all the stuff like that. So yeah, I would love to get out there. I actually am not. I'll have to pull it up. I'm not familiar with if that's a region or you guys are making Chappelle jokes that I'm not getting. Oh, Pudgy was saying the UK is open. Are they open for travel? I know they only lifted their restrictions on like COVID restrictions in general like last week, right? Because I know they did kind of like the U.S. where they had an ebb and flow, but I know they kind of eased back for a while, kind of locked back down for a little while. But I didn't know they were open for travel. But let me pull it up on the map, Alejandro. I don't think we'd have before, have we? Oh, so it's a city, right? Is there a Alejandro? Is there a craft beer scene in Spain? I mean, I know there's a history of of brewing, but much like when I was in Italy a number of years ago, there wasn't really much yet in the way of craft beer like there is in England or the United States. Let's see where I need to zoom out to see what the region looks like. Why is it so off-centered? Oh, okay. So now I got Madrid and Merida on there for some frame of reference. Oh, Toledo. Okay, that gives us an idea where in Spain. It looks like there's a national park right up here, huh? Couple. Yeah. Should go satellite, huh? Ooh, it looks like it's beautiful in the region right around there. So it kind of sits in a surrounded by mountains, huh? Is this a winery? Oh, a bar. A bar right here out in the. It doesn't look like there's a bar there. Large Marge wants us to get back into Taiwan. Oh, you're out, Farley? All right, we'll see you there. See you later. Yeah. Oh, Chappelle lives in Yellow Springs. I knew that. Yep, sorry. Totally missed that. Totally missed that comment. And forgot about that. But yeah. Oh, you're trying to get back into streaming more and testing your equipment. Yeah, every time I see you do it, the equipment always looks so good. So hopefully I'll be able to catch some when you start doing it, when you start streaming again, Drift King. Oh, Farley's heading to work. Yeah. Oh, Pudgy was out in Spain for a while. Nice. Pudgy's telling me craft beer is everywhere. It wasn't everywhere. Oh, see you, Summit. It was good to actually. I've met Summit in person a couple times before, but it was nice to actually get to hang out a little bit at this after the ride on Sunday. A lot of us, like it's mentioned in the Discord, once you sat down, people didn't get up very quick. So it was nice to get to sit there and chat and have a good conversation with a lot of people. So Alejandro said it's growing. Oh, I'm going to put in where he said he lives, the other place. Let's check that out. Oh, that's on the coast, huh? Whoops, wrong button. Oh, on the Mediterranean. Do I have it? Do I have this right spot? Yeah. Rick doesn't want to get into the maps. I love the maps. The maps are one of the VGNO. If it wasn't for the maps, we'd have no VGNO. Oh, Malk said he's doing a bike tour next week in the UP. At the Earthquaker shoot, I was just talking to one of my contacts, the guy that actually first checks my photos before they move them on and like kind of does like their marketing stuff. He said his first traveling thing that he's doing this summer is going to the UP. I would love to do that as well. Ooh, is this an old city with a castle? That oh yeah, like an old why can't I think of what you call the hill in an old European city? Oh wow, yeah, that looks amazing. Rick said he was promised no vampires and no masks. How about cashews? The other thing is, um, not just the Upper Peninsula, but the whole. Even before you get there, that whole up past Grand Rapids in Michigan, along the coast, there is high on my list too. The dunes and all that. Tons of breweries up there. This looks like it must be absolutely beautiful. Traverse City, yeah, Pudgy, Traverse City. That's what I was thinking of. My parents went there a few years ago and loved it. I was supposed to go there, had a trip planned, and then broke up with my girlfriend and moved into the studio. So, oh, Alejandro, your namesake is Valverde? Really? That's crazy. That's awesome. I mean, just it's not crazy. It's just that being from the U.S. to have someone named after a professional cyclist would not be a very common thing at all. Yeah, Valverde just won that sprint at was that the Dauphiné? He won a sprint in a World Tour race this year, which he's what 40, which is awesome. Gives me hope at 42. Not that I'm ever going to win a sprint, but that I could still be a little bit fast. So. Rusty said Bikepacking Routes just published a sweet route that encompasses a huge stretch of the UP. Oh, Pudgy, any excuse to mention Bear Claw. And then Large Marge was talking about a big gravel route that's published in Michigan as well. I think we pulled it up on the stream and we're zooming around, or maybe that was just me and him in person. Either way, we were talking about for our big trip this summer, we were thinking about doing that, but we decided to do a modified version of Ohio to Erie instead. But we're still thinking of maybe later in the summer, possibly fall, doing something like that. So how Murica is? Did you say Murica, where Alejandro, or is that not how that's pronounced? Is it Murcia? Is about 40 miles south. Yeah, some people never like. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Valverde because of the doping stuff, but he's old enough that he just rode in that era, and it's just a fact. And he served his ban, and he's riding now under the rules that exist now. So, yeah, and he won. Yeah, won the World Championships? Did he win the one in Switzerland? I believe so. Yeah. And this is last year, right? And then he's going to work for Movistar as a director sportif, I believe, next year. Muzia. Yeah. That's how that's pronounced? Murcia? Muzia? Yeah, okay. Well, the other thing is, and not to say that this is why I messed that up, but the Spanish we learned is obviously Mexican Spanish, which is different than, Spanish. Murcia. Okay, there it is. Murcia. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that goes more with my understanding of Spanish language. Oh, I'm looking at it on the map and I don't have it up here. Sorry, guys. Like I said, still getting used to the double monitor. So if you're wondering why I'm staring up here when I'm talking to you full screen, it's because I was looking at that. Is that like is this like a barrier island, but it's not actually an island? It's like a full on. So it's like a giant lagoon behind there. I got to imagine that's a beautiful region there. Ah, Las Vegas. I did not know Las Vegas was named after a place in Spain. I mean, it makes sense. It's a Spanish name, but very cool. Murcia, that would be, yeah. I did have my Spanish 3 teacher was from, she was from Europe, and I'm trying to think of the region in Spain she was from. But yeah, she threw us off because we were all trying to learn Mexican Spanish. Then all of a sudden she was trying to explain the differences, and it's like, I'm 17 years old and I already have enough going on to not need to learn 2 different versions of Spanish. But, oh, he said that that's man made. Yeah. Huh. Oh, yeah, look at that. I mean, that's not a natural formation there, right? Oh, yeah, then they're using that for some kind of industry, I'd assume. Farming, maybe? Oh, Rusty says Las Vegas is not named for a Spanish city. It's just a Spanish description of a place. Gotcha. Yeah, there's more than one language in Spain. Spain is what? I don't know. Alejandro, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I would think Spain is the least nationalist city and nationalist country in Europe, right? It's the most still divided, much more like pre World War One Europe was, or pre World War One Italy and stuff like that. Uh, oh, this is what I was looking at. I didn't have it up again. Sorry, I was talking about the possible farms and stuff. And when he was saying he thinks this area is parts of it are man-made, and like that, yeah, not man-made. I mean, not natural is what I meant to say. Rusty said that Las Vegas roughly translates to the meadows, and the original American Las Vegas is the one in New Mexico. Gotcha. Blackball was saying he would like to come down for a fall ride, provided the border is open. For sure. And Blackball, so I don't know how familiar you are with Ohio. So where the guys in Columbus are too, they're about an hour and a half drive from here. So hey, what's up, Oren? How's it going? Oh, that's a good distinction there, Pudgy. Western Europe is way more. The countries have way more congealed than parts of Eastern Europe. Um, I'd agree with that. Well, a lot of too Western Europe's becoming nationalist and stuff. The World War, the World Wars kind of settled that, and post the wars, how they even out certain countries kicked people out and the borders changed, like made a much more of cultural places of more cultural unity than some other countries. But Rusty said Las Vegas in New Mexico is among the oldest European settlements in North America. Interesting. Because isn't the. Oh, if Drift King's still here, he's a Florida guy. Isn't the fort. What is that town in northern Florida right on the Atlantic? I think that's the oldest, right? So. Oh, Blackball said he goes to Cleveland often. Okay, yeah. So as mentioned, I'm right here. I'm about 35 minutes from Cleveland, depending on where you are. So in Cleveland. So oh, Alejandro was saying Spain is still pretty tribal and fairly divided by region, which the conflicts that well, if you follow the news, you read about definitely bears out. And yes, they feel that all Spanish Castilian is imposed Bourbon tongue. Uh, Drift said Pensacola. I was thinking so. Drift said Pensacola, traveling through, and Jay Dandy both said St. Augustine, which is what I was thinking. I camped in St. Augustine, or that little state park right outside of St. Augustine. But I walked all through there, and amazing how, I mean, a lot of the buildings have been changed, but there were a few original buildings, and then the original fort and all of that stuff. And I think the forts in Puerto Rico, which U.S. territory, about the same age, right? Rusty said St. Augustine by Band of Horses is legit. Yeah, that first Band of Horses record is definitely their best, and I really like that album. But I like the song before St. Augustine even better. Oh yeah, let's see if we had some bike picks too. I was looking for the photos. Oh, these were a couple that JMZ posted. So the top left are the beers that got us all in trouble. I don't think I realized we were all drinking 12% IPAs, and we had a number of them. The next spot is all the bikes, where we had them parked in downtown Kent. So that brick road they have closed off for the summer. The next one is Summit Lake. It's a floating boardwalk over part of the lake. And there was one there historically. That's how they pulled the canal boats over this section. And then, yeah, another shot at Summit Lake. That's Dylan in the front. I'm looking to the side and the back. But yeah, cool, cool. Where did we have other? Oh, yeah, this is one I posted at the top of the rubber bowl. Not a great photo, though. Traveling through said St. Augustine is very cool. We rode 1,200 miles down there a couple years back. Yeah, Pudgy, that is the album with the funeral.
DRFDKNG became a member.
Oh, nice, man. Thank you. Thanks for joining the channel, Drift King. I appreciate it. Yeah, two in one night. That's a record, right? Traveling through, you don't have to answer this at all if you don't want to. I would be really curious how you're able to swing the long bike tours. Do you just work do you have a job that allows you to work part of the year and take part of the year off? It's because I would love to be able to do that, and I have a very flexible job as well. I haven't got financially stable enough from my freelance job to ever be able to feel comfortable taking off enough time to tour like that. I would love to do that, but oh, and then Rick was saying you got a cycling cap. Yeah, you got to wear cycling caps. They're the best. Plus, I like the idea of the hat kind of soaking up sweat and stuff like that instead of the helmet. Then you get the brim, to keep the sun out of your eyes a little bit. So, Pudgy said he's still waiting for a GRX level membership. I actually watched the video the other night where I like launched the memberships, and I was saying how I didn't want to make something super high level, super expensive. And I was like, if you want to support the channel more, I mean, buy some swag or something, make a super chat. That's funny. You know, I want to focus still on like making content for the main channel and having some benefits for the members, but I really don't want some massive paywall somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like I have enough to offer someone to pay more. I feel like, you know, Blackball, that is a good joke. No GRX until 2023. Pudgy said some people get a storage unit and just go for it. Yeah, traveling through was leaving from what definitely looked like a full house and everything when he was showing his setup. Oh, cool. All right. And like I said, there's never any pressure for anyone to answer my questions in general. I know it's a very American thing to ask what people do for a living as well. But he said self-employed general contractor, licensed and insured, turns it on or turns it off. Awesome. Yeah, so if you're... Yeah, that makes more sense. One of my problems is if in the industry I do, photography, videography, I feel like if clients can't get a hold of me for a while, they're going to move on to the next guy. And I'm not sure at this point I could get that business back. But yeah, with contracting, I think you're mostly picking up new jobs. I'm sure you have return customers and also customers that would probably wait for you to be back, right? Or wait for the time when it would work. What's up, Lanky? Lanky said SRAM level. Tim pays you. It's funny because my whole inspiration for doing live streams, well, like I said, the original goal was just to learn how to do them. But the name, Even Evening Routine, which comes from Terry Berenson's morning routine, which he actually streamed this morning, which was a pretty good one. Got to chat a little bit. He renamed all his membership levels, and it probably has nothing to do with my channel. It's probably just a coincidence, but as SRAM group sets, which I thought was kind of cool. And I'm like, when I thought of like the member thing, I'm like, oh yeah, it was just the most natural thing to do Shimano group sets. I actually owned 0 SRAM, but I also don't ride new bikes. So SRAM is a newer company. So there's, my stuff is either French or Shimano, and it didn't start out intentional, but yeah, Jay Dandy, Ohio City is not that sketchy anymore. I mean, uh, West 25th, West 25th and the area around it have blown up. It's farther than just like where Great Lakes. When Great Lakes went in there, people told them they were nuts. So the owner, Patrick Conway, well, it's Conway, regardless. He opened up a brew pub off West 25th by the West Side Market. People said he was a maniac. Now that whole strip is blown up, but it's also spread, farther down, to where Platform Brewing is and stuff like that. So yeah, Ohio City, I've ridden my bike all through there. There's parts that are still more run down. There's nothing that I've ever felt that unsafe at on my bike. And, there's, and parts you wouldn't want to walk through. I don't know it that well if you get deeper into the neighborhoods, but riding my bike around up there, no concerns. Oh, Blackball's asking about the hoodie. Oh, wrong way. Everything's backwards. Akron Coffee Roasters, which was an awesome thing too. AJ, everyone calls him Albert now. I went to high school with him. Everyone called him AJ back then. But was on the ride, the industrial gravel ride, and when there was only the six of us who finished left and him the seventh, he was like, if you guys want to, if we're downtown, you want a detour, I'll pour everyone a nitro cold brew. So we did that, and Dylan's buddies took it, I took it, and Brad had one, and it was perfect because that was before we did the final loop with the climb. So yeah, really cool thing that he did for all of us, and then he brought water out too, and I needed water, so yeah. Yeah, Lanky, where were you on? Well, you're a family man, so your weekends are probably more dictated by that. But yeah, we missed you on Sunday. We were hoping to see you. Bellow Cyclist is a company that Rusty recommends. Was that Rusty? Did I get that right? I am not familiar with them. Oh, it's a cycling cap specific hat. I'll remember to pull it up on the screen this time. Oh, I obviously like that one right off the top. I've seen that before. Does Snacks? Well, I don't know if Snacks is still in here. He might have that cap. Oh, they do custom too. Ooh, that looks cool. Oh, Conway is the name. Oh, Rusty used to work at Great Lakes. I didn't know that. Patrick said his favorite cap is some random wool cap he got from an Etsy-based shop in Czech Republic. Yeah, my one of my favorite caps, is it right over there? Can I grab it? Is one I got from a company called Red Dot, and they started on Etsy too. It's a one-man operation, and he does really cool kind of simple caps, like just the ribbon stripes, which I really like. And then if mine is the KOM, and if you flip it up, it's got the red dots, but it's just a blue with like the French like ribbon down the center. But yeah, there's a lot of cool small makers. The ones that they've been getting at Dirty River lately, that I believe is also carried at Joy Machines up in Cleveland, which would be Ohio City as well, which is a whole new complex of buildings up there and breweries around and stuff like that. Zephyr Line, they make Zephyr Line or just Zephyr, because there's a train called the Zephyr Line, but they make really cool caps that I've a lot of like really awesome designs I've been digging lately too. Yeah, Rusty, Ohio City. Um, yeah, you might not be able to. I don't know what your financial situation is, but Ohio City is actually expensive in a lot of spots now. So yeah, it's blowing up. For sure. Oh, traveling through said lots of return customers. He doesn't have to advertise much anymore, and his phone rang every day on the bike tour, lining up work along the way. Starting with tomorrow. Awesome traveling. That's cool. That's awesome. Pudgy said that Lanky didn't go on the ride because Pudgy wasn't coming. Did I say that right? Lanky bailed when he found out I wasn't coming, is what Pudgy said. Oh, Lanky said he had family in town that he hadn't seen since pre-pandemic. Gotcha. Yeah, and if a lot of that stuff was in the Discord or on social media, like I said, I had a busy week. I was out of town leading up to the ride, so I just missed out on stuff. There's a couple things we even wanted to do to the route, like if some of the people were there where we rode over the railroad tracks, you didn't have to dismount from your bike. Large Marge had actually built some stuff up and laid some, you know, junk he found around it, like roofing material. And we wanted to do that in a couple more spots. And with me being gone the week before, it just was impossible to pull off. But Rusty said he was a bottle and kegger for almost 2 years before he landed a teaching job at Great Lakes. Oh, that's cool. And then Great Lakes now is in, yeah, the Conway brothers, but I think they actually have it employee owned now too. I know they're famous for being really good to their employees, and they've never sold out to a major company. And now they're the 20. Well, the last time I saw the numbers, Great Lakes is now the 22nd biggest craft brewery in the nation. So they're old school, 1988, class of '88 brewery. So, and their original bar is still awesome. If you need to go out an off time, you need to go out like a Tuesday at like 4. Sit at their old, cool, heavy wood Irish bar. Rick, we know that. I can't even. Jay Dandy said East Side, so we're talking about Cleveland, seems to be getting sketchier. West Side seems to be more stable. And downtown Cleveland is blowing up. Like I said, last time we were there, there's like, you know, they're building glass residential towers in Cleveland. No one thought that was going to happen, you know, like, but yeah, a lot of the West Side suburbs were always nicer. Like that's the case in almost any Rust Belt city, um, Lakewood, stuff like that. But it's been for a long time. Those neighborhoods in Cleveland on the West Side have been improving. Oh, Pudgy was saying that's why he's busy, so busy in July. We are talking about this. We're trying to plan the next big meetup where we could all ride together. He's visiting family he hasn't seen in over a year. Oh, Rusty said he wouldn't have left if they were really good to their employees. I assumed you were hoping for the teacher job and that's why you moved on. Huh. Maybe I've read the wrong stuff. Great Lakes, the reputation I've always read is they become employee owned, they offer benefits. I know they were very helpful to their employees during the pandemic, but that's also in the restaurant world. So being considered decent, restaurant brewery world doesn't mean that much, maybe, probably. Oh, Lanky said also pretty sure that route would have killed him. I doubt it, Lanky. I think you would have been fine on your gravel bike. Said only 6 of us finished, but I think you would have been a finisher. But if not, like I said, there were plenty of offs. So Rusty says they were okay to their employees. Maybe they've stepped up. I mean, maybe they've, I don't know, you know, or maybe I've just read uh, propaganda from Great Lakes. I mean, they do the whole Burning River Fest, which is they all the money goes back to environmental causes, but then and they're independently owned. I know corporations do that as just a tax write off, but yeah, who knows? Malk said West Side Market is one of his favorite spots in Ohio. Yeah, for sure. It's such a cool place. Oh yeah, Rick, you must have missed that before he came on, traveling through his back, and he even listed the stats. So you haven't posted your wrap up videos yet, have you? No, yeah, because I need to go back through YouTube too, because I've missed a lot of stuff being gone. I just watched Lanky's video on his Italian bike, which was awesome. An awesome video, but an awesome bike as well. Yeah. So Rusty was saying they have pretty good benefits, but he got sucked around for jobs and pay that was promised by his boss. Yeah, and that's another thing. So maybe I don't know how big it was when you worked there. Maybe your boss happened to be fairly shitty, but good benefits at a brewery and a restaurant. I mean, is not that usual. So pudgy. he said he said if it was printed on the side of a six pack, it might be biased. I think I'm a pretty savvy media consumer, but yeah. Brodford said at Lanky there were other people rocking 38s, just not pink ones. Get some other photos up here if I can. Alejandro dropped a list of breweries from his region. I don't have them up again. Large Marge moved on to a Zombie Dust, which is one of Aaron's favorite beers. Oh, then, yeah, there's the list of. Oh, naming one of the good beers out that way. Nice. When I was on the trip in Louisville, the one guy was trying to get out to some of the breweries, or we planned dinner there and stuff like that. Went to Against the Grain Brewing with him, but he was asking me about Untapped, and kind of stopped using Untapped because it became a one of those social media like obsessions, and then I want to review and get a picture of my beer, and I still take pictures of my beer, but I felt bad sitting there writing a review when my friends were around, and I'm like, I do enough taking pictures of stuff that I gotta stop. But I still like go down Tapped like this to check out something different. Oh, Blackball upgraded. Thank you, Blackball. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, Malk. That was one of the. So traveling through. Well, do this in order. So,
Traveling
dude,
through
thanks so
Super
much.
Chatted
Traveling through.
$25. Love the show.
Man, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I have not hooked up audio on this setup yet, so I don't know if I was talking over that, but so yeah, two things. Traveling through said he has lots and lots of footage, has his work cut out for him. I bet it'll be a lot easier for you to make your videos and post from home, though. I'd have to guess. But yeah, we're all looking forward to seeing the rest of what happens because the last episode I watched, you're still. That's when you're heading towards Dayton, I believe. I'll even need to go back and watch them again, I think. Because you wrote a couple trails that in Ohio that I haven't been on, so I was thinking I want to go back and check those videos out again, just so another new place to go, like trails around that I haven't done. Rick,
Rick Urbanovsky Super Chatted $5. Hate the show.
just proves love is stronger than hate. $20 stronger than hate by this metric. And then someone asking me, oh, Pudgy said he hopes there's footage of the ride. Yeah, I'm halfway through the video actually. I was putting together the industrial gravel ride video today. And there's some cool clips, and I was actually trying to. Yeah, I like to make the videos concise as popular. I don't like to beat people over the head with each scene, but it was kind of cool to see everyone out there riding our, what I made videos about for so long, and all you guys who I'm friends with. So, yeah. Oh, it went back to Top Chat. Stupid. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so I think it'll be a good video. It'll be a fun video to, and then also a lot of us will get to see each other. You know, I know in the Discord we get that and other videos and social media, but it'll be cool to see kind of everybody else riding that we all sit here and chat to. Uh, oh, that's right. Traveling through, we celebrated your 1,000 viewers because I didn't stream last week, so the week before. But yeah, we were all congratulating you, but I know you weren't here live. You're probably riding, getting back home. So yeah, congratulations on the 1,000 traveling through, and everybody was chiming in on that. So Rusty said to make sure you enunciate when you say cool clips. Cool clips. Traveling through, stole some bikes in Colorado. Jay Dandy says. I missed Lanky when he was talking about the size of the tire because there's so many things going on now. And again, like I actually the resolution I don't have dialed on these either.
Rusty Shackelford super chatted $5. Rick eats the poo poo. Pudgy Pedal Pusher super chatted $1.99. Rick's peanut drag on the ground when he's on a ladder.
I wish I could hear it. I should have brought the headphones down here. But Patty was saying he posted some photos of Cleveland that were his grandfather's. Now, you guys are making it very hard to focus. Oh, Patrick said, you guys in Cleveland and nearby posted a couple pictures of his grandfather, senior yearbook in the just. So, yeah. It's John Adams High School. Oh. So I don't know if this is still even exists. I don't know Cleveland well enough. Like I said, I'm from the Cleveland area originally, but we moved here when I was 4. Then we went back a lot, and I still go back now. But oh, look at that, 1939. Wow, that is super cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, traveling through. I can't remember when you. I know when you were originally planning your trip, we were chatting about. Um, you were thinking about maybe coming in farther north and going, like the Towpath Trail and stuff like that. Yeah, from Cleveland to Cincinnati. I mean, you definitely have to see the towpath through the national park. And he's even as Dylan and his friends were saying, even riding from here at the studio down to the towpath, or that would be the like out of Akron down through the towpath. It's really really pretty, like surprisingly pretty. So, and where you went through the state, I think it gets very pretty. You know, Dayton, Yellow Springs, and then down to Cincinnati. I know, no offense, Pudgy. Some of the parts you ride, as I've always said, are very can be a little bit more monotonous and flat. But yeah, the Cuyahoga Valley is very impressive. So Malk asked how he does the money thing. Like I said, oh, why can't it's not showing up for me now? It's not giving me the super chat option. It has create a poll where it used to have the money symbol. So that's weird. What happens when I create a poll? Oh, I could ask you guys a question. Huh. Yeah, traveling through, you got to jump in the Discord too because we do have a buy, sell, trade section we use to offer friends in the group stuff before anyone else, you know, or a quicker way to do that. And I think we have what, 80 some people in there now, and probably about half of those are active. I mean, quarter of those are active, but half of them will still chime in once in a while. Oh, Pudgy said his area is super boring. No offense taken. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Traveling through, you were going to do the Erie Canal trail over and then do Ohio to Erie South. I forgot about that, but I remember chatting about that early on. Um, and you went when you came through here, like even watching your videos through Ohio, there's still barely any leaves on the trees, so you were really early. Yeah, because you had what, snow in West Virginia and stuff like that. I was watching that and I'm like, and I know you've been around before. It's one of the things that when someone comes to my hometown, whether or Akron, Cuyahoga Falls now, the Cleveland area, like I hate when they're here before the leaves are out because it's just a different world. You know, I look at Akron, it looks like a bunch of power lines and old buildings, and then when it's green, it just is another world. Even the industrial gravel, you could tell from the intro to the live streams versus when you guys were here riding it. It's actually like it's still industrial gravel, but it's actually, there's flowers on the side of the wildflowers and greenery and shade. Definitely a different thing. So Rusty, Rusty, large Marge, all the above. So Lanky wants a fixie now, huh? All the joking, I can't. But that's now traveling through. You have a reason to come back, and like I said, maybe we could all do some kind of ride together, even if it's not a huge like organized thing. It'd be great if you came out summer, fall, show you some of the pretty stuff. So I even like that was part of the reason of adding the towpath on the gravel ride, industrial gravel ride before we did the climbs was like, hey, it's no.
Mulk Hogan super chatted $2. Wish I could have made the industrial gravel ride.
Thanks, Malk. You figured it out, and we wish you could have made it too. Jay Dandy said, "Yeah, you saw Rick in person. He's a big dude." I can't maintain my train of thought when it's like this. Where was I at? Someone give me a cue. Someone give me a. If we started fixie jokes, you would. Oh, that's what I was thinking about. Yes, thanks, Blackball. I think I was talking about this when I built up the single speed that we did on the live streams, the Miata, and I got a flat, and it's a flip flop hub, and I wasn't paying attention when I put it back on. I put on the fixie side, and I went out and it's a parking lot out here front, and when I started to pedal, and I couldn't stop and couldn't coast, I was like, I'll just tough this out. Like I should learn to ride fixie. And then I went like 20 more feet and I'm like, I'm gonna kill myself. And I came back here and flipped it back around, and it's a bolt on too. So it wasn't like a quick, fix. But I was like, yes, I am not. Yeah, the fix thing I just cannot do. I mean, I could learn it, but I would definitely need to go in a parking lot and like do some like 10 minutes of riding around before I tried to go anywhere farther. So Rusty said he liked fixies before they were cool. Pudgy, if you want to make the piddle command work, you have to type it correctly. 15.8%, you know. Oh, Patrick made the same joke at the same time I did. So Traveling Through said, when Rick was born, the doctor said, congratulations, it's a man. Oh, yeah, Lanky, yeah. I think you have, you're, well, where you are, across the valley and north, isn't that dissimilar to where I am, where you can't go anywhere without going on a hill, so. Rick. Should we do a piddle break? Should we? Well, I still got half a beer left, and we're 2 hours in, so good job, Rusty. Pretty close. Oh, Jay Dandy said 15.8 new emoji. That's God. I've dropped the ball on that. We have more emojis to put on the YouTube channel. And so after tonight, it might even be even more than that. Like, that might have bumped us up. So, with the new members. I said that that's the thing. I made a members video the other day. It was just a quick iPhone video, but talking about a lot of that stuff. And I think we all kind of anticipated it's, in the summer, it's going to be a little different. There's traveling. We're all trying to ride our bikes. The sun's out till 9 o'clock. So, yeah. Fall, winter, early spring, definitely always be able to have more, like, fun stuff. And that's when we want to interact on the internet more anyways. So, but yeah, I still want to keep up and pull off some of those things. All right, we'll do a piddle break. I'll be right back. Traveling through City, be outside. I do need a piddle, so yeah, let's do it. All right, I'm back. Oh, who's? Yeah, Malk took off. See you, Malk. If you're probably already gone, but that's why I typed it out. Um, Broadford said he's surprised there wasn't a reveal of Funny Brad's tattoo, Keith. Well, I think part of that was because Large Marge was paying attention and making sure he had his socks pulled up when he need to. Alejandro said he's thinking of removing the transmission from his car. Think I'd think that'd make him cooler. That is a good, you know, that is a good way to relate the fixie thing, right? So, oh, did Obsolescence say he was out? Oh, he's still here for now. Don't know what I'm doing Friday, Obsolescence, but I'll hit you up if we do ride somewhere. Just depends on how caught up I am on work. If I have to chill at home. Rick prefers the D17. Blackball, Chris in Toronto said, as a longtime fixed gear guy, he'll say that a transmissionless bike is akin to a go kart, and who doesn't love a go kart? Yeah, I like my single speed, but living where I live, I have to. I'm only gonna ride it if I know I'm not going certain directions. I mean, so riding downtown, riding out to Kent on the Freedom Trail, like we did with Rick, totally, viable for that. And one of the things I like is I just build it in an upright position, and I know what I'm getting into when I get on it. But yeah. Rusty said he saw a dude on an ECR a couple of days ago, and he thought of him, but the stem was cut. Yeah, so it wasn't. Yeah, he meant steer too, but. Oh yeah, I wanted to. I don't think William is around anymore, but he posted this awesome. Well, you never know. You, I watch live streams without chatting all the time, but so he posted this photo that was really cool. I want to open the full size. And he was saying this was a pedestrian bridge. He's Detroit way, so I'll have to go back and read the caption here in a second, but yeah. Just a really cool photo. Excuse me. Wow. And then Obsolescence also posted something he said for the people who didn't do the last few climbs, the last gravel climb. These are some of the photos because we were saying it seems like on that last gravel climb it was like an access road and maybe they're going to expand Timber Top. Who was telling us that they knew about that? No, I cannot remember right now. But yeah, there's like a bunch of old construction materials sitting around on that gravel climb. We didn't ride all the way over here because we were just going up the hill, but this is just a little right off the climb here. Me and Large have gone back there and explored as well. Right, these were Obsolescence's photos, I believe. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, here's a view of a lot what it looks like. And again, you're not seeing the grade in the photo that would really exist. Oh, then William's photo. It said old pedestrian bridge on Belle Isle in Detroit. Yeah. Another drink pick up there. Oh yeah, Alejandro dropped a couple more. Another link to another good beer. He said sort of the Rust Belt of Spain. Ooh, he said it's in a beautiful town with trails that go through abandoned train tunnels to the sea. Oh, that sounds amazing. Kind of like probably like a lot like the trail we did in West Virginia, which was all abandoned train tunnels, which was really, really cool. Rusty on the steer tube thing said, "Yeah, he's drunk. Don't judge him." I think tonight there's a lot of people who are drunk. It's a Tuesday. We got to calm down. How are we gonna get through the rest of the week? Oh, Rick, you're gonna dump that ECR, huh? Pudgy said he's running high test beers, but he's a former mechanic, so well, I mean, I guess you're still a mechanic, but I missed the retracted message. One of the funniest things on Saturday night when Rick said he was heading our way, he then also just wrote message deleted in his text directly to me. And we were all sitting at the table already drinking beers and had a really good laugh about that. So, oh, nice. Now you guys are buying and selling each other bikes. Oh, Broadford said you're making up for last week. True. Yeah, since we didn't get to do it last week. And like I said, last Thursday, I was home in time to stream, and it was like one of those things where it was like, I don't have the energy to talk. Like I was beat. Uh, that's that's not very. I figured I I said that I wouldn't stream on Thursday. Then I'm like, if we somehow got home on time, I'll do it anyways. And that was one of the times where I was like, nah, I don't want to talk. You know, called Erin, had a conversation with her to chat with her, and then I was like, psh, now I'm done. I think I sat down and watched like 5 YouTube videos and passed out like on the couch before I even got to bed. So, like I said, it's not the work was tiring. It was interesting, and I really enjoyed it. But it was tiring because we're shooting a mechanic shop. So I'm shooting a camera rig I'm not super familiar with. If you saw the Louisville video, it showed a lot of the behind the scenes of shooting these Sony FX3s. But then you're always on your toes, worried like for a lot of it, worried about like staying out of people's way or seeing something interesting and jumping in to get that shot. And then I'm also trying to have all the settings and the stuff right on a camera that's not the one that I'm comfortable with or know very well. So it was like mentally like fairly draining and a little physically draining. And then me getting to be somewhere that I traveling again for the first time, like really like being traveling, I want to get out in the evening and see stuff. So yeah, it was just an awesome, like huge learning trip, fascinating trip. Um, but yeah, 5 days of that, and I was wiped on Thursday night. So oh, what's wrong? What happened? Traveling Sue said searching for a bike to do the GDMBR. Oh yeah, I was reading about that, but yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I know about that ride, but I wouldn't know what the bike to recommend. Oh, thanks, traveling through. He said he liked the Louisville video. So yeah, why they're saying 29 plus is dying now? What is why is that the case? Everything's always dying. Everything's always a crisis, right? I mean, really, things ebb and flow, and there are times when it's hard to get certain things. But in this day and age, do you think anything really will die with like the boutique tire makers? I mean, I don't know. I just feel like there would be someone who's going to step up to support the existing bikes that are out there, right? Who else had an ECR? Oh, Kenny, who is the one who brings me the beer from Missing Falls Brewery, uh, channel sponsor. As we always joke, but it's kind of true because he brings the beers. Yeah, so he had an ECR. Did he sell his ECR? I think he might have. Someone say Bear Claw. You guys are having a good conversation, which I don't think I'm smart enough to, or knowledgeable enough to even address. I'm just reading it and enjoying it. So, oh, Lanky said he would go hardtail for the Great Divide. And he's saying velocity. Pudgy said velocity could always make you whatever, right? Did I pour all this beer? Yeah. Okay. So one of the things, the reason I went to the bike shop today is I picked up a. Is that going to focus? Rebuild kit for my Deity Blade Runner pedal. So on Thursday, I think I might, with this situation, do that. Those of you who've been around know that I was out on a 2-day, 240-mile ride when my other Blade Runner blew out all its bearings, and I had sciatica really bad and had to push my foot towards the inside of the bike for probably 70 miles, and it was horrible. So when I met Dylan and his buddies and Obsolescence at Hampton Hills to do the mountain bike trails, I was there early because I had not calculated how long it would take me to ride my bike there. And so I was just sitting there chilling, and I was spinning the pedal around, and I could hear how the other one that I hadn't rebuilt after that trip, how it sounded kind of grindy. So I figured this time I'm going to get out ahead of it. So I thought it might be kind of cool to rebuild this on the stream on Thursday. So do that as part of the stream. That was one thing I wanted to mention. And Yonda was telling me that one of the bushings you actually have to tap out. So I'm going to get the pedal off and then try and have everything set up to do that. Then I think in another one of the streams down the road, and I'm in no hurry on this, but this bike I wanted to use as a project bike just for some videos. I think like one of the, streaming, I just might tear this bike down on one of the streams because the videos I have planned for it would be more about like building something different up. So yeah, I think that'll be, maybe next week start tearing this down. Plus this guy, he sold it to me and he put some stupid parts on it. There's a lot of stuff that's original. It's a Schwinn Paramount, not one of the fancy valuable Schwinn Paramounts. It's one of the Nishikis, which is not a bad bike by any means, but the stem is absolutely horrible. What's behind the chat, but yeah, we'll get into all that. But yeah, 500 EX group sets, so not a horrible group set by Shimano, but so it still has, I think, the original group set, the original brakes, but these goofy, stupid wheels and stuff like that. So whoops, I closed the chat again. There we go. Rusty was saying he would recommend a Fargo for the Great Divide. That seems to make sense. Pudgy said he would have went Fargo over Journeyman if he could do it again. Yeah. And Broadford's talking about Lyle Wilcox's bike. Yeah. Oh yeah, traveling through. We did this. He said 240 in 2 days. I have a video about it, but we rode up to our buddy Micah in Conneaut's, where his parents are from on Lake Erie, and we like rode a blistering century, the fastest century I've ever ridden, blistering for me. And we were swimming in Lake Erie at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon from here in Cuyahoga Falls. Or I think we all met downtown Akron probably. We got some beers, stayed at an Airbnb, so a couple more miles to the Airbnb. In the morning, we went and did a gravel ride uh, in Pennsylvania because it's real close. Rode around, got like 25, 26 miles in, and then the whole century ride back home. And it's when I had to take Advil every 3 hours for my sciatica, so it was a crazy, crazy couple days. We want to do it again this year, and then we're saying let's make this a 3-day trip. Century ride up, swim in Lake Erie, have a place to stay. Next day, do the gravel ride, have a couple other fun things to do, and then the third day, do the Century home. Make it a little more something that would make a little more sense. I was telling Dylan and his buddies about that at Hampton Hills when I realized my pedal had gone bad. They're looking at me like, oh, that sounds awful. Yeah. What was Rick talking about? What's the turd you guys are talking about? On the left, well, your left would be over here, right? What's the turd ski? I don't know what you guys are talking about. Yeah, so this space used to be, these shelves were full of junk from the photographer I bought this building off. Not junk, just stuff he had put down here to store. Putting, that's a good word. Put down here to store, and then I turned it into my little bike shop, workshop, and my pain cave. So this is where my Trek 1500 is on the trainer, and then I just would put my laptop on the bar here where I'm sitting and do Zwift. Then more and more as I got into stuff, I kind of organized the shelves to have all the stuff I want to work on the bikes with, and bought the stand. So oh yeah, then my friend Kyle, when he was having kids, he had a bar in his basement, and then he was turning it into a playroom, and so he gave me this little glass fake. Uh, why can't I think? What's the architectural movement from the 20s that the Empire State Building is built in? It's like a kind of a bad version of that. Why can't I think of? Oh my god, my brain is failing me. I get it. You guys are talking about poop, but I don't know what you're talking about on the shelves. Like, what are you seeing? Art Deco. Thank you. Thank you. God, that was killing me. Yeah, you guys can't see it with all the cable, the uncable management out here, but yeah, look at the bar. Like, fart deco. What's the turd on the shelf? I want to know what you guys are talking about. Ermagerd. Ermagerd deco. Now I'm doing a searching around. Oh, the skis. Oh, wait. So I was talking to Susan, is the other photographer I rent space out to upstairs. Uh, as I mentioned before, she's been here longer than I have, but I bought the building, so she leases, rents space and equipment from me. I was telling her I really want to. I'm like, I think I would like cross country skiing. I was like, maybe instead of uh, riding on some of these snowy days, I could cross country ski some of the hiking trails. And so she brought in her husband's old cross country skis. This was late winter, uh, and she was like, these are old. She was like, he upgraded. He's never going to use them again. She's like, they don't use this kind of uh, bindings and stuff like that anymore. And I was like, yeah, perfect. Like try something to see if you like it, and then if you want to invest more, you can. So yeah, she brought those for me, and then the weather turned, and it never was cold again this winter, so I didn't end up trying them out, and the boots were too small. So yeah, I threw the skis up there. So if that's what you guys were talking about. Oh, did Rick hide something up here when he was? Yeah, Alejandro Art Deco is definitely what I was trying to say. Oh, lanky. They're from the '70s. The poles are bamboo, and they're not painted to look like bamboo. They are legit bamboo. So Blackball was saying he's a cross country ski guy. It's the best off season cycling sport. Yeah. Who is the famous cyclist that is a huge into cross country skiing? GCN on the Plus app made a documentary where Dan Lloyd goes cross country skiing with him. Trying to think. Oh, uh, Contador. Contador is a huge cross country skiing, and they say the lung capacity and the cross country skiers are very similar to cyclists at the top level. Like you said, just duct tape some 2x4s to your feet, and I'll enjoy it more than those. Do you guys want to see those like closer up? Whoops. So they actually like, I mean, very basic. Can't have my face in there. Got a pathless pedal to, where he covers his face. Well, and again, I would know I was riding antiquated stuff. I would not be like, I don't like cross country skiing because of this gear. It would just be about getting out and trying it. So, oh, that's right. The ski poles did not come from this set of skis. My friend Greg some of you know Greg Milo. Gave them to me. I was like, I put it on Facebook. I was like, I got a set of cross country skis, but I need some poles. Does anyone have them? My friend Greg was like, I have some in my basement. Then when he gave them to me, they are legit bamboo sticks. I mean, they put the little disc on the bottom and the metal pole on the bottom, but they are bamboo sticks with grip stuck on them. I can't believe it. Oh, Blackball said he had those boots in the 70s. Nice. Like there's some people supporting skiing on here. Broadford likes it too. He said cross country skiing with whiskey and cabbage, some jazz cabbage. I have no idea what's going on. Do you guys have like a separate chat that you guys like use to be in cahoots against me on nights like this? Man, how many people are in here besides you guys who are chatting? Like, how ridiculous do I look to the lurkers? No idea what's going on. Oh my god, I can't take it. We have. That's Orin. I think that's what it feels like. I mean, but no, man. Oh, the wrong box. But all right, I'm gonna end it with this, and and then I'll search around for whatever is funny. Don't do it, Tim. Rick's getting exactly what he wants. We'll deal with this later. But anyways, this company Vaunt. I showed the people who were here at the end of the industrial gravel ride. Sent me 2 boxes of a headlight and tail light. I think they're a brand name. The tail light, a number of us knew. We've seen in other brand names. The headlight, I charged it. I haven't tried it out yet, but they offered me money for like a pro video on the channel, and I said, no, I won't take your money, but if you want to send me one, I said I'll review it. So they sent me two. They said give one away and review the other one. So I think I'll use one of those. I see people have those random name generators where you can put stuff in. All the members will be entered, and then anyone who's on the live stream the night we do it will be entered. And so probably not on Thursday, probably next week. Like, I'll send one of these to whoever is here, and I'll compare the light to like the lights that I think are good lights, you know. But again, why I was, the headlight feels lightweight and plasticky. I'll charge it up, see how it works. I'll make a video. I'll make the video about headlights. I won't make it about like a specific, like, I'm not gonna do like a 10-minute review of a Chinese light. But yeah, if they want to send stuff and give it away, and then they gave a discount code, I'll put it in the description. You know, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not gonna sell myself for a Chinese headlight at this point. You know, so. The thing that I think another aspect with doing a video like this a way to make it legitimate is I do buy a second headlight. I have one, like a cheaper one for the winter, and I'll actually use my main headlight pointed where I normally have it, and I'll point the cheaper one straight down because it's dark so early. So I actually do like to ride with two headlights, and I like the second one to be cheap. And also tail lights. I don't have a problem with reviewing cheaper tail lights because I lose tail lights so often. I either give them to a friend who doesn't have one and doesn't expect to ride after dark. I bounce one off. I put it on a new loop on a bag that I haven't used before, and I lose it. So I think I can make a legit video without being a shill. So, you know. Well, Jacob Dylan. Rusty says I've sold myself for less, and that is very true. Will the headlight make it easier to find pieces? All right. Baby Ruth. All right, we're ending it. We're ending it here. I will see you guys on Thursday. The industrial gravel video might come out on Thursday morning. Depends on how busy I am. If not, it'll come out on Monday morning. And thanks, Blackball. I appreciate that. Well, I guess I'll hang on 1 second to answer Oren's question. Cheap doesn't necessarily mean bad. It's like how wide the beam is and how bright the beam is, and I'll compare it to the ones that I've spent real money on and the ones that I have that are cheap. The cheap ones have never been as good as the expensive ones. Build quality, light quality. Maybe this brand will surprise me when we actually get it out on the road. Why am I not in focus? If they do, I'll say that. If they don't, I'll be like, this is a light you could use as a second headlight. So, yeah. Knight Rider. Yep, Knight Rider is my favorite. All right, guys.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Cause
Yeah.
this time.
Fitzwater photo.